Good evening, everybody. If you are joining us from Facebook Live, you're welcome to join us live on activeteamwebinar.com. It'll be a Zoom session. Otherwise, we certainly appreciate your feedback and comments. So it's an important call this evening, so we look forward to share. Well, welcome everyone. And the line are actually open. What I mean by that is you can mute or unmute yourselves. So if you don't mind making sure you stay muted, because at the end of this trainings, we'll be doing some interaction with all of you. We want to welcome you to this session of the Go for Diamond webinar, which tonight I believe is a very, very important training segment that we really believe, let me rephrase that, Tammy and I really want to share with you. There has been a lot of transformation, a lot is going on, and we simply want to make sure that you have the opportunity to be able to see what is going on and how Tammy and I are adjusting and transforming everything that we do. And often when we go through the transfer process, it's not always easy or clean or simple. But what happens is from time to time, you start getting results. And as you get results, you measure your results. And really all of this comes down to mindset. And we want to share with you through some of the slides that we put together, how we work ourselves to orient our way of thinking and how we proceed in adjusting in a new times. What are your thoughts, Tammy?
I'm looking forward to getting it started. So let's go.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm just getting my buttons all put together here.
Okay,
In
that's
Florida,
you
I
want me
have
to be the
three.
decoy?
Yeah, in Florida, I got three screen. In Canada, I got one. So I got to manage with
Right, this
everything
book
crammed
then.
into one screen. Yeah, in fact, we're going to be talking about this. And as a matter of fact, as we move to the first slide, I felt this was important to talk about because often, we're faced with challenges, and what do we do? What do you do when you're faced with difficult times? And here's how I see this, and this has been going on for years, since I believe 2006, when I started going through transformation and adjusting my way of thinking. And I just want to read this quote here that I got from as I was searching for some slides, and I picked up this line here. There was no name as to who came up with it, so I just kind of left it as it was. It says, when you face difficult times, know that challenges are not sent to destroy you, because often people look at the challenges as doomsday, like the COVID situation, when really it just presents you with new opportunities. And I like what it stated, where they're sent to promote, increase, and strengthen you. And this is exactly what's going on. Because when you are in a situation where you're used to the path that you were taking to get to your destination, and suddenly the path is completely different, it feels like, oh my God, what am I going to do? In fact, a great book that I would recommend, just another one we're going to talk about here today, is Who Moved My Cheese? Tammy, do you remember the author? If anybody remembers the author, if you don't mind putting it in the chat, the name is not coming to me right now, but it's a phenomenal book that talks about the labyrinth, and it talks about these little characters that are trying, they have this big chunk of cheese and they were feeding from that cheese, and suddenly the cheese is gone. And some of them anticipated the cheese is going to be gone in several years, and they started changing how they went, and they found this even bigger mountain of food to be able to survive, and not to survive, but to thrive. And this is kind of the message here. So understand, folks, that many of you are probably facing challenges on prospecting and inviting and meeting new people and recruiting people. And there's a lot of things that presents itself as challenges that may bring it difficult, that may seem a bit difficult. But I'm telling you, folks, is the way we look at things that will define your moments, that will define how you will evolve. What are your thoughts on that, Tammy?
Yeah, as I look at this picture, I love it because success is a maze. And often people join our profession and they don't I guess focus so much about personal development. They just want to catch the big one. They want everybody to say yes, and they don't understand what it takes to run a business. A lot of people come into network marketing and they've never been in business before, so they don't know the ups and downs in a business. I come from a traditional business before the industry, and there's ups and downs. It's called life. It's called business. We have this in our own personal lives. So when I see this maze, it's exactly what it is. When you hit that wall, well, you got to go left or you got to go right. You got to figure it out. You got to find ways. You got to be creative. And these are the things that we've been doing in the last year and a half, instead of sitting down and, oh no, we can't travel anymore. And instead of doing that, we're like, okay, well, we need to reinvent ourselves. We need to step up our game. We need to take some courses. We need to be able to tap into the global market and still make that global impact with our teams by Zooms rather than, you remember, free conference calls. So, having that visual effect added to it. So there were so many things that we had to do in the last year and a half that we've been so busy, we don't think about challenges. We're just evolving and growing and trying new things and getting frustrated. Chris, you have to admit, 2 hours to do an Instagram reel today? Seriously. Oh, and I got to do it again tomorrow because I made a commitment.
Oh, Tammy, I know that your forte is in designing and coming up with great pictures and colors and things like this. When it comes to the technical aspect of things, I do understand that it comes as a challenge from time to time, and this is what it is. Folks, and here's what's really important. I know that many of you are faced with challenges, and I know it's not just a group here on Facebook, on the Zoom session that are listening in, but those of you that are on Facebook Live, and those of you that are going to be listening to this in a day or two, even a week from now, even a month from now, even a year from now, understand that challenges are really, and this is really the way I look at it. They are there as hidden opportunities. And I'll come back to that in a moment. So don't feel that you are lesser or you're too old or, because trust me, as human beings, we tend to do these things. I'm in my mid 50s now. I'm 55. And I see my daughter, turning around and starting to do extremely well. And she figured all that out in a matter of, I don't know, a month or 2 to 6 months, whatever. And here she is, and she's earning a wonderful income again.
And they don't want to share their secrets.
It's like pulling teeth to try to get data from your kids. But at the end of the day, what's happening here is that the information is out there. And that's what we want to talk about. So in moving forward, just before we get into some of the details that we want to cover, I think it's important that sometimes we revisit how we perceive mentorship. Sometimes we're so used to figure things out by yourself. And I'm telling you that this, I think, Tammy, was in 2017 or 2018. I forgot the exact date.
I think 18, yeah.
Or was it 19, early 19? I forgot. But the point here is we met John C. Maxwell. And I remember the very first time I was introduced to his name, it was in the days of my previous company. It was a gift given to me by one of my upline leader. And it was like a dictionary about leadership. And as you know, John C. Maxwell is very strong with the content of the Bible. And he literally took the Bible and he took all of the aspect of leadership within the Bible and he created this Bible of leadership. I forgot the title of it. And that's how I got to know him. And then I started buying audiobooks. And then I got another book that was called The 5 Levels of Leadership. And we'll talk about the new one that, in fact, Tammy has introduced me to. And there's a wealth of information here. And the reason I'm promoting him is because this guy's the real deal. Now, he's not going to be on planet Earth forever, right? He has some health conditions. But the fact is, he's leaving a legacy, kind of like Jim Rohn did. And one thing that's really important is invest in yourself. Now, I have to admit that John C. Maxwell, it was $7,000 for a weekend. Now, I'm not trying to brag, to tell you that we spend that kind of money. I'm trying to press upon you that when you rise certain ranks in your business and you start having a level of success, you need to keep evolving. You can't just sit on that mountain and expect that everything will stay the same forever. No, it's like that book that Maripol I've just mentioned. And by the way, if you're on Facebook Live, I will take this link and I'll post it in a Facebook Live comment. of who movie you choose. I really recommend to pick that book. It really is phenomenal, especially now. Many companies have disappeared and some have reinvented themselves. And some, in fact, since COVID, have become 100 times bigger, right? They took advantage of that situation based on what they were doing, providing as a service to society. So the fact is, invest in yourself. This is really important. And why am I saying this? Is because I know that the GoPro event is coming next year. Well, this year, at the end of the year in December. And I'm not saying to buy in everything they sell. That's not what I'm saying. That's what they do for a living. What I'm saying is you need to plug in to information where the rich and the famous and the successful people tend to hang around. And that will cost a bit of money. When we talk about these kind of events, it's around between $200 to $300. I believe that there was a promotion for $97. Tammy and I bought 10 tickets. I know that we have for the people that are new that will be coming in that might be exposed to spend a lot more money because they're coming last minute because they just got involved. But this is what I'm saying is you need to invest into yourself, to seek guidance, to be able to evolve and learn from not just the younger generation, but the generations that are actually taking advantage of the tools and the mechanical details that are there to be, and it's all free. I mean, let me rephrase that. The knowledge is online, but it's scattered like trying to, catch, fish in the middle of the ocean. You got to find the right spot where to find them. And it's not always clear and easy. So
Or
these kind of training.
then they give you a little bit, and then they give you a little bit. You might as well invest. And the one thing that Chris is talking about investment, when you make money with Max, don't just take the money and spend it. I mean, you have to take a portion of it to put aside for investment. You have to take a portion of it and
Yes.
put it aside to invest in yourself for books, for courses, so that you can evolve as a leader. And then you take a portion, and you break up this portion. And if there's not enough there, you need to make more money. It's that simple.
And I know that sounds corny when we say that, but folks, it's really the truth. So the fact is you need to seek guidance. You need to consult with others. And that's what these events are. And we're very fortunate that we have some individuals like Eric that is actually promoting the network marketing profession in a highly professional level that are attracting a lot of people from all walks of life. And this will help you duplicate some of the things that he does. So don't nickel and dime these things, because if you're always on the outside, not knowing what goes on the inside, you're always going to be left with the crumbs left by others, right? So the point is, we talked about at the beginning of the session here, is evolve. You need to evolve. You need to redefine yourself, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, and I know that some of you are looking forward for Tammy and I to share what we're learning, but the fact is, in the meantime, you're wasting your time if you're just waiting on that, right? So, and often I talked about YouTube and how to whatever, Tammy talked about Reel on Instagram, right? There is tons of little videos there that are very efficient, highly educational, free, because we as viewers, we pay them every time we watch their movies. When you see someone who has 100,000 views, these people are making tens of thousands of dollars a month, right? By people viewing their content. That's the reason why the content is becoming better and higher and higher quality, right? So redefine yourself and embrace challenges. And that's what I shared about earlier, often disguised as opportunities. So don't feel that you're too old or it's too late. It is not. You just have to shift the way you are thinking. Is there anything else you want to add, Tammy, before I switch to the next slide?
No, we're good.
Okay. So here's a book I really recommend. And Tammy, I'm going to let you talk about, because I know you're a little bit ahead than I am in reading this. I actually bought I'm techie guy, and let me just get my Kindle here. And, I bought.
So on the Strong Max Women platform, we actually have a book club. And I think a lot of women are really starting to catch on to that, having a book of the month. And each individual leader is going to choose a book and how that book has impacted their lives. And John C. Maxwell tends to get noticed a lot because of, he's got a lot of great leadership books. And then I was searching through myself, and of course I found the book and went back and looked at it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, sometimes you got to go back and read it again. When Chris talks about Who Moved My Cheese, I mean, how long ago was that, Chris? Like
Years.
ago that
Years
we
ago.
read this book, years ago. And sometimes you just got to go back. And here's the thing, always people are like, oh, I don't know what to post on social media. How many of you are like that? Anybody like that? Don't know what to post, so you just don't do anything? Well, there's some great stuff in here that you could take a quote, you could take a phrase, and then all of a sudden things come to your mind, and you could easily make a post about it and how that quote or phrase has made an impact on you. And guess what? People are watching it, they're reading it, and they're going, oh, I love that. Or it's a great way for you to connect with that person. So all that to say, there's 25 amazing ways to win with people. So there's no excuse not to connect with people, because here it tells you how to do it, how to get the best result with people, and how to get people to be attracted to you. But number one, when you look in the book, number one starts with you. You have to win with yourself. You have to believe in yourself and increase your value. Know your value. Accept your value. Know your value. Increase your value. And really work on yourself. And when you do that, people are more and more attracted to you.
I agree. And I want to give you an example, the reason why I like the electronic version. So you can probably see here, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but I've highlighted a section that I really appreciate. And I want to share that with the team. So what happens is once it's highlighted, then it gives you, you click on it and it gives you these little icons. You probably see here, the one that has, geez, I'm having a hard time centering this. The one that has a little, I think it's right there. Okay. So the one that has a little page with an arrow pointing up, and what it does, it creates an image for you, right? And once it's created, then you can turn around and you can actually share. You can see here the share button. I think it's right here. And you click share, and next thing you know, you choose where you want to share it. You want to share it on Facebook, you want to share it on Instagram, whatever it is. So what happens is, as I'm reading this book, and some of you are probably noticing on my page, personal page, and the different groups that we're posting in, that I started asking and posting these things, and it's getting attention, but it's good attention. And it's also helped people recognize some of the behaviors that are important to, to communicate. And this is what I mean. It's another way of staying in touch with your organization. And because of the social media environment, and because I'm connected with my team in Ghana, my team in Nigeria, my team in Canada, my team in the USA, my team all over the world, in the Philippines, then people have the choice to comment, and some don't. And that's fine. I'm interested in reaching out to the people that wants to grow, that wants to evolve. So it's just an example of how I use technology to get people to follow me along as I'm evolving and learning, right? And this is an important message that we want to share with you here today. So I really recommend for you to grab this book, the Kindle version. If you have a Samsung phone or an Apple device, it's a free app. And then you go to Amazon, you buy your book, and automatically it knows to synchronize. You don't have to know anything. It will synchronize with your Kindle application, and it's all there. When I travel, I don't like to have heavy books in my bags. I just like to have my one little device that's $1/4 pound or whatever. And then from there, I can have 1,000 books in there, right? So it's just the way we're evolving. So from there, yeah. Is there anything I want to add, Tammy?
No, I mean you can choose however way you want to pick it up, but pick it up because it's really really great. I'm only on number 10 and I just got so much value from it on connecting with people.
I totally agree. And one of the quotes, here's a prime example. Let me just move my things around my screen here. You know what? I really want to get my multiple screens again. I missed that. Okay, so what happens here is this is an example where if you don't believe that you have something of great value to offer other person, namely yourself, you'll never truly win with people. Now, this is really profound because if you don't believe that you have value to give to others, then it'll be difficult for others to believe in you. But it starts with yourself, believing in yourself. And for that to evolve, you need to evolve. And you don't realize how important your voices are. I'm listening to some of you presenting, sharing your stories. You come up with some really amazing content. But because often we tend to maybe see ourselves as, whatever, we don't think that we matter that much, not realizing that you're impacting people around the globe. What you say, and I don't want to oversell this, but could actually save someone else's life in some different parts of the world. Your voice matters. So it is important that you believe that you're making a difference for others. But for that to happen, you need to believe that you are making a difference for others. And when you do that, your posture and the way you conduct yourself and the way people will listen to you will change, will evolve. And this is what Tammy and I have recognized over the years. I truly believe we are making a difference. And many of you can testify by simply, thinking back of what we've been sharing for the past 15 years through post and traveling and everything else, right? Some folks that we met can barely afford paying their rent, now are millionaires. We didn't do it for them. They did it, but we contributed to the knowledge. Now, what I'm trying to say is not that we're anything special. What I'm saying is that we believe we can make a difference, and we are making a difference. And when you do that, others will want to follow you and get to know you and get to understand what they can learn from you. I don't want to say get from you, but learn from you. That's the reason why I believe that this new ad campaign that Tammy are working on, it's not that duplicatable because honestly, it's quite, it's there's a lot of data, but it's not hard. It's just that once you do it, then after that, it's a simple process. But when you learn through the process, it's not. But the fact is, I truly believe that once we're out there and people really see what we've done and what we've done for others, as many of you also are doing, we know they're going to want to follow. We know they're going to want to learn what we have to. Who wouldn't want to make 10,000 to 20,000 to who knows 50,000 and even $500 a month US? Who wouldn't want that? We just need to go out there and share it, but it starts with believing that we can. And that's how you attract people. That's the reason why I decided to share this quote with you again, right from this book. Absolutely phenomenal. Any thoughts, Tammy?
As we listen to all these big gurus with all these trainings that we're investing in, they said, be the best copycat. All this stuff is not original. What makes it original is you, your uniqueness, your creativity. I mean, you could say something totally different than what John C. Maxwell will say about a quote. So people are buying into what you're sharing and they connect with you as you're doing this. And, one of the things that Jessie Lee says, she's such a random person. And a lot of people are like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. And she says, just be messy action. Messy action is better than no action. And you'll be able to look back at your very first Facebook Live or your first video, and you'll be able to use that as a story on how you began on social media. So don't look at it like, oh no, people are looking at me. You got to see the bigger picture in all of this. It's all about personal development. Get out, be messy, don't worry about your hair. And you know, there's days where I just stick a hat on. I got no makeup on. I just put a baseball hat on and I go out in the park and I'll do something. And people are just going to buy you for being authentic and just being real and not always being done up. And people don't care so much about that. And often people think that's what people care about, and they don't. They want to see the true you.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Here's another quote that I believe is extremely appropriate and even extremely relevant today, where it states, again, I got to move my things around here. Continue when discouraged, for where there is no faith in the future, there is no power in the present. Think about this. Think about that statement. If you don't believe in the future about what is going on with our company, with our opportunity, well, that will rob you from the power you got today to try to convince someone to participate and get involved. So we'll finish this presentation this evening and touching on that, but this is extremely profound. Like I took the quote here from John F. Kennedy, where we can have faith in the future only if we have faith in ourselves. So it goes back again into you. It's always about you. And the way you feel will be a reflection of your successes or challenges or both. And don't fear the challenges. Remember, the challenges are an opportunity that are disguised into problems that may make you feel that it's not happening. There's this problem. This is falling. The company's doing this. This is happening. This is not there. That's not available. Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, whatever problem you think you're going through, I'm telling you, other companies do. Other associates do. Other leaders do. The difference is, how do you deal with the challenges and how do you behave around them that will define you? I tell you, I know we have competitors. I know we have people that are trying this and trying. I couldn't care less. I am focused as we were 10 years ago when our upline quit and start taking our downlines. And here what happened, we hit Crown Diamond. I don't care about the competition. In fact, I embrace it because I know what we have to offer. I know what we have as a product and as an opportunity. I do not worry about this. So don't get stuck into what others are doing. I call that white noise. You need to clear that out. And it all starts with you and how you feel. And how you feel, I'm telling you, will manifest into your results. If you feel good, and listen, I know we're not robots. I know we can just flip the switch tomorrow. Well, I feel good. And I know it's a process, but it's just like training. Let's say that you're not in the shape that you want to be. You understand if you train really hard tomorrow, you're not going to change tomorrow. But you know what? It's a step forward towards it. But if you do that in a week, you may actually, and that's what's amazing. If I use the analogy of the body, is the body will adjust quickly, just like the mind. If you just give it the right food, if you give it the right stuff, your body will adjust. And in turn, it's amazing how transformation occurs. It doesn't take long. What takes long is the decision to go forward. So here's the point that's important to talk about here. And that's what I just talked about. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at changes. I cannot stress enough on that. What are your thoughts, Tammy?
Yeah, for sure. The key is if you're stuck, honestly, if you're stuck, it's because you're not working your business. The key to get over all of that overwhelm, all of that stuff, is to be organized with a schedule, is to be organized and knowing where you're going, and to focus only on that target, on that goal, on that date, and do the actions every day that's going to move you towards that goal. Every day, do the hard stuff first. Create power hours, whatever it is for you to build this business. All the money making activities is what you got to be doing if you want to go into momentum.
I agree. I totally agree. So it is, your mindset is everything. You need to understand that. I know that things are not perfect, but I'm telling you, don't rest the solution to your problem on the fact that, well, the company needs to fix this. The company needs to do that, right? The economy needs to change. I need to be able to go out again and meet people. We need to start doing hotel meetings again. You got to stop thinking that way and start thinking, what can I do? How can I adjust? What are the things that I can change for me to be able to achieve my goals? This is what I mean by having the right mindset to change things. Anything, Tammy?
No, you got it.
You know what? At the end of the day, it sounds, when we're talking about it, it sounds so simple, and it is. But we human beings, we just love to complicate the heck out of things.
Get out of
Why?
your head. That's it. It's so simple. Get out of your head and focus on the prize. And that's the key every single day. I did that training. Was it Go for Diamond training that I did that? We learned from a top producer in the industry, and she created such a great visual. I said, copycat, I got to be sharing this. So I created a PowerPoint and put the bus. And, the key is who's driving your life.
Yes, I remember. That was it. Yeah, very good.
Is it you, the CEO, or is it your procrastinator, or is it your excuse maker? Is it you need to decide every single day. And I love this example because you're always going to have something that's going to take over. Let's face it, we're all busy, right? Or maybe you're just keeping yourself busy because you don't have to do the math stuff, right? People get caught up and they do other things so they don't have to focus on the main thing that's going to help them get out of financial situations, or maybe to have more of what you desire, right? Some of you might not be in a pickle financially. Some of you might be quite comfortable. But man, do you remember those nice trips that we had, you guys? Gals? Wouldn't you like to have those trips again? I mean, there's so many things that we all desire to have in life, or even just helping a family member, or whatever it is, You all know what you desire in life. Well, it's time to put on that boss hat and take control of your business. That's the bottom line. If you want to excel in this, first of all, you wouldn't be wasting your time on a Monday night call. You wouldn't be wasting your time if you wanted to have more out of this business. So I'm speaking to you because you're the one that wants more. So make that decision. Be value around the world. Make a global impact on social media. They are watching you. People are watching you. You got to get out there more consistently. I know that. I'm doing it now myself. And this is not an easy platform for me, but I'm telling you, I will make it. And in a year from now, we're going to laugh about all these things I did today.
Absolutely. And this is exactly the right attitude. So one of the things it's important, as Tammy was sharing, and it just kind of came to me here, is that when you are processing what do we do for a living? Think about it. People today are buying online so easily and so quickly. It is really amazing. Most of you don't know this, but people are quick in clicking the button and buy if they see value, because they can't go out and shop like before. And I'm telling you, even when everything is open, now that you tasted the easiness of staying in your comfortable PJs and go on your computer and search for everything you need and click a couple buttons, boom, it's all delivered to you. I'm telling you, people are not stupid. They're just going to carry on doing that. So this is a shift that's happening today in our economy and our way of doing business. And what do we do at Max International? We provide a tangible service with a product that many of you on this call or on Facebook Live are aware that is legitimate and improving people's quality of life when it comes to their health. We know. We had a symposium this weekend, again, part 2, adding more data. I mean, how much data do you want? There's more than you can handle. We know it's there. That's what we have to offer. We have a marketing arm, and we get paid directly into our bank account. What else do you want? Think about it. You got everything at the palm of your mind. It's not the opportunity that's the problem. It is the mindset in the way that you see yourself associated with this opportunity. That's the thing. And that's what we're trying to trigger. Tammy and I got it. And I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying that the reason why we hit crown and we're living a wonderful lifestyle, despite all this mess in our economy, it's the fact that we got it. We understand that. And we are staying the course, but it's just a delivery method that's changed and evolved. And we want you with us. And that's why we'll keep doing these trainings. We'll keep reaching out to you. You can choose to tune out or tune in. It's up to you. But it's all in your mindset. So in moving forward here, you've seen that before. We've done this training, and I took this segment because, again, it's extremely relevant to our discussion this evening. 4-phase in network marketing. It starts with the excitement, right? You are in. Sorry about the resolution. I was trying to find something better, but there's nothing better than this resolution online. So the fact,
I'll make one on Canva. I'm the Canva queen now.
Awesome. I do not want to spend 2 minutes doing that. It's just, I appreciate it. You do it. I'll take it. So what happened is phase 1 is initial excitement, right? Phase 1. This is what happened when people recognize that they can get out of their financial mess and get into where they want to be. But we know the relatives and our friends and the social environment and the wonderful people around us that we love, that they love. But sometimes we have different understanding of an opportunity. And because they're not, let's just say, they're not in tune with the process of this industry, the first instinct is the behavior, what you see in the news. Negative. No, won't work. And what happens is this will bring the discouragements. And if you overcome that, then there is a situation that happens in the economy, like, I don't know, COVID-19, right? Which has completely changed everything. It's not because of COVID. At the end, there are challenges. Challenges are here to stay. It's never going to change. What's happening is everything changes and we need to adjust. Money never disappears, folks. That's why there's new leaders, new companies, and new young entrepreneurs, because they come up with an idea to adjust in the new times. And that's what we're telling you. So what happens over here is you get into this disappointing and challenges, but that is where I was telling you about these challenges and disappointments are disguised into new opportunities. And then you have a decision to make. And some will turn around and quit, walk away and thinks it's better somewhere else. Some other companies seems they have better leaders, they have better this, they have better that, blah, 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 whatever. Go. at the end of the day, I know what we have to offer. I know what has happened to many who stayed the course. And I'm telling you, what we have to offer, it's hard to measure up. You know it. I mean, how many companies send you to the Maldives? Think about it. How many companies send you to Peru? How many companies pay you this kind of money over and above all of that? How many companies have these kind of products that are so scientifically sane and incredible? Think about it. The key is patience, understanding, adjusting, mindset. That's the difference between the people who will pass that curve of failure. Failure is a step closer to success unless you stop trying. And then from there, you may reach your financial freedom, whatever that freedom is for you. Everybody has different levels of what they want to achieve. I'm not saying you need to be a crown. What I'm saying is if you want $4,000 or $5,000 a month, US, I'm talking US because I know that many currencies are not all United States, right? So that's a lot of money. It's more than most people have made ever. But if you understand the leverage aspect and how this works and how you can adjust to the new times, folks, you will not fail. There is no reason to fail. The only reason is because you stop trying and you did not stay the course. And that's really the message that we want to share with you here this evening. So this is our last slide here, Tammy, that I want to add. I just wanted to ask you if you have anything to add before we get into this one.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so what's going on here is it goes down to your 4 core belief. I had a session, God, I do many different sessions, but that was what one of our team, oh yeah, it was in French. It was with a team in Congo. And they asked me to share the presentation in French, and it was a huge success. There was a lot of interest, and Congo are not open, right? They're not open yet. But what's happening here is one of the things I made them understand. It was a very simple presentation, same slide, same thing. And the fact here is, what is your core belief in yourself? And this is one of the reasons that they often invite me to share. It's because my belief is high. I'm asking you, what is your belief in yourself? And this goes back to the other slide that we just shared a moment ago. What is your belief? The belief in yourself. Number one. And folks, I'm telling you, every one of you has what it takes. I know every one of you here. I'm looking at your names. I don't want to be an hypocrite. I know every single one of you here on this session. Maybe some of you on the Facebook Live, I apologize, I'm not seeing it right now, and I will certainly follow through. Let me just go back there. Okay. I'll look at it later. I lost the page. But the point here is, if you start believing in yourself, and I know that was my point, is if you start believing that your voice matters, I'm telling you, that's when things will change for you. Number 2 is, what is your belief in the company? Now, often I communicate with our CEO. I communicate with our executives, and many of you can talk to John Winterholler. I know that Joe is very reachable. I know Scott, you've reached Joe. I know Paul, you've reached Joe. And so our executives are reachable. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to get back to you because they're busy. But the point here is, I believe in this company. You know why? Because they believe in the future. They believe in what's coming. And I believe in what's coming, which is in line with what they believe. Because we know we have a product that is, without question, people need. No question. And if people need, they buy. If they buy, the commission continues, the volume continues, the money will never stop. I believe in that. The question is, do you? Number 3 is, I think it's an easy one. Do you believe in your products? I truly believe in them. In fact, I will not spend a day without taking them. I'm telling you, for me, it's critical. I take my products in the morning, I'm taking in the afternoon, and in some cases before I go to bed, depending on what's been going on. The point is, I believe in our products, and it shows when I present. And I know many of you have that belief, which makes you powerful when you talk about the products. But what is your belief in the company? The last one is the industry. What is your belief in the industry? This is the reason why at the beginning of the call, the session, we talked about the GoPro event. I know Anthony Robbins has really amazing events. Anthony Robbins is a bit more in a generic aspect of things on the personal power and all of these things, which in fact, that's, I mean, if you recall, when we used to drive from Ottawa to Toronto, and we went there and nobody showed up and suddenly everybody showed up and, we were, but that was, I remember listening to Jim Rohn and Anthony Robbins, and that was the trigger that really got me to transform my life in the direction that I was in, because I was going in a direction that I was really not happy. And thank God that I made the decision. And today everybody's happy. But unfortunately, the transition was not always easy. But the fact is, my belief in the industry has evolved. And because it has evolved and my belief has evolved, well, that has measured into our results. If you're only talking about the science and the product, folks, because you don't believe in the opportunity, it's not going to grow for you, because you're telling, no, I don't want it. That's really what you're telling yourself. So the fact is, it's working because many people around the world are living out of this. So it's working. So they're not stories made up. The question is, what is your belief and your mindset around it? And these 4 core beliefs are absolutely critical for your well-being in building this kind of business. And so that kind of ends our segment when it comes to our slides. Now, I know, Tammy, I wanted to, in fact, it came from your suggestion, is to have some interaction with the team, where I know that many of you are going through some transformation that would maybe like to share what you are doing that are helping your transformation. Let me just stop the screen sharing here. And let me just go and let's go on speaker view and let's go full screen. Okay, so at this point, Tammy, did you want to kind of, and everybody can mute and unmute themselves and start interacting with some of the audience here. Don't be afraid. If you don't want to, don't worry. It's just that maybe some of you may have, as I remember, if you remember what I stated, your voice matters. Something that you are doing may actually make a difference for someone else. So Tammy, do you want to take over and share that?
I've just seen so many of you do some great things. I'm on social media, so I'm watching some of you who have really stepped up and are getting some results. So does anybody want to share some of their experiences? I know, Paul, you're doing LinkedIn. I know
actually on the chat.
I see you all the time. And
on the chat
Laura?
section. On the chat section. Sorry, Tammy, for cutting in, but want to just put just a comment on who would like to chat, because I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know some of you are doing wonderful things. Wonderful things. So if you want to go ahead and share, don't be shy, because we will have to pick someone if nobody goes and step forward. But if you want to start, we'd love to start with you. So back to you, Tammy. Go ahead.
Yeah, so whoever wants to share, just unmute yourself. Don't be shy, you guys. I'm watching you. Allison, you're doing awesome stuff. I've been watching your posts. You're doing
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. I can share.
Yeah.
Going through the most powerful women, we go through a lot of things to work on ourselves. And I'm working with the crazy ladies on my bus. And I'm the CEO of my bus. And I'm getting rid of those other ladies slowly. It's going to take some time. But I was doing a number of videos on Facebook, and I had slowed down lately for whatever reason. And well, the CEO on my bus is going to start doing them again. And one of my goals this year was to master social media. And I'm not saying I'm going to be the queen of social media, but I'm certainly going to get better. Excuse me. So I was doing them Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'm going to start doing them again Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I'm going to choke on it. So You have to go to someone else for now.
Take some water.
In between, you can make a post, you can put a quote, you can ask a question for engagement. So it doesn't always have to be videos. So think of that, but you really got to incorporate some videos in there. So who else wants to share what they're up to?
Right.
Barbara Ann, you just did your first Facebook Live.
Come by the way, Barbara Ann, I've listened
girl.
and it was really well done. I really, really liked it. Keep doing it. Go ahead and share.
Oh, it's on. Yeah, can you? Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It was Transformational Tuesday, and just from listening to all these videos and all this coaching, and I guess it was finally about transformation from living in the oh woe was me. My business was shut down, and I don't know what to do with myself, and like blah blah blah. And to now where it's like, you know what, let's step into something new and let's transform into something more. It'll be challenging again because I'm starting over, but that's okay. Let's just start again, something new. So transforming from the old way of business to now the new way. So now I'm learning all about social media, and it's like I'm really feeling more current now with what's going on. So yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Chris, hold on a second. Who has not done a Facebook Live? Let's create some accountability here. Let's have fun. Who has not done one Facebook Live yet? Everybody's done a Facebook Live. Okay. Okay, Linda. Oh, Paul. Oh, Bill. Okay, all three of you, your challenge this week is to do a Facebook Live, and the people that you know here, you tag them. And we're going to cheer you on. Come on, Bill, you can do it. Just
Absolutely.
put a baseball hat on. Who cares? Seriously, that's how you get out of your comfort zone. Is when you're being challenged. Barbara Ann, what did I say to get you to do that Facebook Live? You know, I said, who's driving your bus, girl?
Me.
You gotta do a Facebook Live, and she did.
My company, me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Linda, you have such in fact, a beautiful radio voice.
Yeah.
And I'm serious. And you sound really clear. You sound good. You look good. Sorry, I'm throwing a lot of flowers here, but it's true. And you should be online. You should be sharing. I'm telling you. Anyway, go ahead and share if you have anything to share.
All of you have value. That's the bottom line.
They're accepted, absolutely, and clearly, I've got a group that that's going to support me. Social media just has never been something that I've gravitated towards. So, making it happen is what my learning and self-development is all about. Is like just stepping out of that fear zone. So, thank you. The challenge accepted, Tammy, and. Facebook Live, here we go. And well done, Barbara Ann. I applaud you.
Now, I know, Kofi, you are from Ghana, right?
Yeah.
So coming from the young generation, what are your thoughts? How are things going with you and social media and everything else?
Oh, okay. So what I realized at the start was that most of the time I was mainly focused on recruiting, and I realized I had a very big problem with me maintaining them and raising leaders in my team. So what I realized was that I was so much focusing on recruiting, getting some customer income, getting some fast starts and others. So what I am doing nowadays is really focusing on the leadership aspect. And I've got one great book of your mentors, that is 21 Laws of Leadership from John Maxwell. And I'll add what you recommended, which is the 25 ways to win with people, because I really want to focus on the leadership aspect. And I'm also focusing on the social media aspect with LinkedIn and Facebook.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. This is excellent. I know we have also Emmanuel from Nigeria. Emmanuel, how are things evolving for you?
Oh, I think he dropped. Did he?
Oh, did he drop the call? He was there
Yeah.
just a moment ago. Okay, the call might have dropped.
Can I throw out one more challenge? Because a lot of you done Facebook Lives, right? So we're gonna have 3 new Facebook Lives this week. How many of you have done? Who's not on Instagram? Who does not have an Instagram profile? Okay.
I do, but I'm
Time
not
to
doing
set it
anything.
up. Time to set up your Instagram profile and do a post and a story. And tag me or everybody, whoever's on Instagram, tag us so we can cheer you on. And at the same time, if you have done posts and you've done stories on Instagram, I want you to do a reel. Don't hold yourself back from this, because that's where all the people are. FIT, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You don't have to dance on TikTok. Just go out and show something that you love. Just do a short video, add some music, and just write a caption. And get yourself out there, get really uncomfortable doing this, because once you start doing it, here's what we learned from Fraser Brooks and Jesse Lee. I thought that I got the most people on Facebook. I've got the most people on Facebook. So why would I want to post on Instagram when I don't have a lot of people, or on TikTok where I don't have a lot of followers? And I thought that it's all the same, that they're just, Instagram is the same people on Facebook and the same people on TikTok. Boy, they blew that one out of the water. You want to talk to new people? Get on Instagram and TikTok. Because you're going to tap into 3 different platforms. You're going to have a whole lot of new connections by doing it.
Tammy, as you're sharing this, I have an idea. You know what we should do? All of you here on this session, and even on Facebook Live, we can all connect each other on these platforms.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is I have a small audience, not much, but I do. Some of you do. Tammy does. But if we all connect with each other, what's happening is we're exponentially expanding each other's audiences. So every one of us are going to be leveraging from everybody. So what I suggest is maybe we'll do another call on that, Tammy, is how to connect. Here's a recommendation for you. YouTube, how to connect, or let's say set an account on Instagram, set an account on TikTok. How do I look or find someone on TikTok? How do I find someone on Instagram? Watch the video. I'm telling you, it'll be just a few clicks. You'll do it. Then bada bing, bada boom, done. Okay. Now we start connecting with each other. And every time someone posts something, then like it. Of course, if you do, you like it. And now it's going to start creating where it's going to be a foundation that it's going to start putting attention on your activities. I'm telling you, when we go to Maldives, there's going to be some amazing images that we have never seen, that obviously you have never seen. But through this media, we're going to be able to connect everybody, and you're going to be connecting to an audience that's going to be watching this. You understand what I'm saying? And in between that, you may want to do a video about something that's going on in London or Toronto or Ottawa or Ghana or Nigeria, wherever you happen to be. And now people are going to start noticing you. So this is my challenge to you. YouTube, how to start with, create an account with Instagram or TikTok. Next, how to connect with someone on TikTok or Instagram. Now, I know we're getting close to the hour. It's actually 9 o'clock. I want to respect that, Tammy.
And Chris, just quickly, the pre-launch video that I just did, some of you were on, some of you couldn't get on. I wasn't able to do the Facebook Live, but if you're not in the Freedom Formula program yet, if you go to Facebook group under Freedom Formula program and request an invite, I just did the pre-launch. Everything's organized in guides, workbook, everything. In the pre-launch video, I talked a lot about social media. I talked a lot about hashtags. You want to get out there? You got to get hashtags out there. So it's all on that video, but you have to register on the Freedom Formula program so you're up to speed on all of that.
Wonderful. Now, Laura, I'm glad that you like to dance, so please do that. And Suzanne, I'm glad that you're taking on the challenge. So, and I know many of you are also acknowledging, I saw your body language. This is wonderful. Next Monday, we're having a very special guest who's going to be sharing their steps on LinkedIn, how they connect with people on LinkedIn. So we'll be having our Gold Associate, Paul Tesseman, who is doing really, really well interacting on LinkedIn. And I have asked him to prepare something. So he's going to be sharing his screen, and it's going to be in front of his monitor, and he's going to be walking through some of the steps that he does on how he utilizes LinkedIn and connect with people utilizing LinkedIn. So it's going to be next Monday. Okay. So on this session, folks, we want to thank you for attending. We certainly appreciate your feedback. If you happen to be on Facebook Live, we welcome your comments. And it is such that you give us a sense of direction as if we're doing well, and if what we're doing you find is being helpful. We certainly love to hear your feedback there. So everybody have yourself a wonderful evening, and we will see you on next Monday.